Great. My camera is back. Hello, everybody. Welcome. Hello, everybody. I welcome everybody joining in. A few minutes lag so that we can fix some internet issues here. I hope the camera runs fine. Good to see you, Arora Bhupati. And if for some reason this camera is playing up, I might go back to my built-in camera. Okay. All right. Let's do that way. So let's go back to the built-in. Which means I have to get this off. This goes above. This needs a cleaning up a little bit. And that's life. We are back. We are back on track. Okay, if we see if we can push this a little backwards and bring the mic bit forward. All good. Great. Just a little bit of raising up is required. Excellent. That looks good. Awesome. Sandeep Negi is here. Good to see you, Sandeep. Well done. Congratulations to do your homework. I saw your video. Well done. Awesome. Bhupati Arora is here, and it's good to see you here. Hina Kapoor from Team Brilliance, always, is available. Round the clock. Big support mechanism for Team Brilliance. Okay. We have people joining in, and I'm waiting for people to come live. We have people joining in from YouTube. We have people joining in the group and the page. Excellent. So wherever you're joining in for, say hello. And if you let StreamYard connect with your Facebook and give permission, then you can actually send me a message, which I can see, in my chat box. It will show up with your name. I can see my school friend Rajesh Kumar Gattu is signing in from Calcutta. I hope you are well, my friend. Okay, safe, maintaining social distance, and keeping away from the fear of media. What a phenomenal job they have done. We must give them appreciation for a phenomenal job to spread the message so powerfully and strongly across the globe. I don't know if it's a great thing, it's a good thing, it's a bad thing. It is a good thing in a certain way, but may not be the best thing. Sometimes we are too fearful without any reason. Jan is praising my session from yesterday. For those of you who are not familiar with what he's sharing, let me tell you briefly what is happening here. From March beginning, all our live events have been postponed. Okay, that's the term we are using, which means technically we cannot run live events. Sorry, I'm going to get rid of this phone here. It's just playing up. By the way, you can actually take your phone and make it a webcam. So if you were looking at me at a high definition camera, that was from my iPhone 10. There's an app you can download. It's free. One version is free. The upgrade, the better version, or let's say a bit of more features version is paid, and it makes my webcam a phenomenal webcam. So coming back, Jan is from Poland. He was very fortunate. I would suggest that he landed up on a webinar which was meant for Indian audience, and he signed up for an online program, a 10 weeks online program on public speaking. For those of you who don't know, and if you're tuning in for the first time, and especially if you are on my YouTube channel right now, do not, or rather the best word would be, if you are on the YouTube channel right now, remember to subscribe the channel and click on the bell icon so that you can be updated of all the videos we will be putting you weekly. Every week, we're going to put new videos about learning, about sales, about public speaking, about mindset. And if you click on the bell icon, you will be receiving updates, every week from us. And thank you, for making us 1,000 subscribers. We just hit 1,000 subscribers yesterday. So thank you for all the students, who were in this advanced class on Speak for Life. This is the branding we have done. Speak for Life, 10 weeks on every Sunday. We connect for almost 3+ hours. Yesterday it went on for 3.5 hours. And I think nobody comes close in the way I'm running my live virtual events. Nobody comes close, I think. Or maybe very few people come close or maybe they need help. They have other people supporting them. They have at least one or two manpower doing the things for them, in terms of running the way I run it. For me, this is my studio. And for everybody who is a part of Speak for Life, after this live sessions, I will be going into my closed group, which is for people who have signed up. There's a bunch of 40 people. I will be showing you what my studio looks like. It's got no heavy cost. I've got little few tweaks in here there, and I was blessed because I'm from event industry, so I had few things, few gears lying in my store, and I'm using that. So coming back, this is my quarantine hairstyle. If you haven't noticed, this is called Your Wife Cuts Your Hair. You take a machine and you just put a number 4 or 5, the topmost, and you take it over. Okay, it saves money. It brings comfort. I any day would take comfort, instead of being uncomfortable and looking great. Okay, so coming back, Jan is praising me for my yesterday's class. Yes, I think I did a phenomenal job. I also had some learning. I have taken some feedback because I observe myself, Great. So today, Harish Walia is here. Great. आप जितने लोग ट्यून इन कर रहे हैं इस लाइव सेशन में, आप सबका स्वागत है. शुक्रिया इस लाइव सेशन में जुड़ने के लिए. और आज हम जिस टॉपिक पे बात करने वाले हैं उसके बारे में मैं आपको बता दूं. आपने टाइटल में देख ही लिया होगा. यू मे हैव सीन द टाइटल. इट्स कॉल्ड स्टॉप बीइंग अ पुशओवर. This is what my team wants me to talk about today. So this is what happens, guys, when we are overclouded with fear, when so much of fear voices is running inside our brain and is telling us, what, we might get COVID, we might get sickness, we might get disease, we might get corona, and we may die, which is natural for every human being to think, or most of the human beings to think, because our brain is overly negative. And if we cough a little bit, if there's a bit of a throat infection happening, bit of a fever happening, just naturally, which you have been used to in the past, but all you can think about, in that moment for most people is that, what, do I have corona? Well, I'm not saying there's not a problem. There is an issue. There is a challenge there. You got to be aware of it. You got to maintain social distancing. If you think mask is helping you, wear mask. If that's what you believe in, because a lot of research is suggesting mask is not helping. But I know you're in India, and especially if you're in Delhi or Mumbai, it's mandatory. Then wear the mask. Follow what the government is telling you to follow. But your biggest, I think, fix would be to keep your immune system high right now. So eat healthy, exercise, meditate. So coming back, when our mind is filled up with fear, our judgment, can be jeopardized. Our judgments can have a cloud, and we might not be able to make the best decisions of our life. So this is recommended that if you can, take help. If you are your only help, God bless you. Take help, on this journey. People you rely on, people you think who have got strong willpower. You think they have got a great attitude. You think they are more learned, more educated, more intelligent, more brave than you are. And that's what all human beings need. We need to hear it from other people. Like my mentor, infuses the energy inside me. Trust me, the way you look at me on this camera is not what I am all the time. I get fear and doubts. I've got this clouds, of worries coming into my life and thinking, what, is this going to work out? Am I going to get out of this phase? Will I ever get back to doing events? All that stuff. But getting pushed, also actually brings a lot of creativity in your life. There's so much of things, I've created in the last, I would say, month and a half. I would have never thought I've created, just because I'm pushed to a corner, I'm finding new ways to do things. So coming back, okay, if you have insecurity, inside you, which you can sense and feel, you don't have to ask anybody. You sense it, you feel it. Then be aware of it and get help, from people. I'm looking at notes, my team wants me to talk about a few things. And by the way, if you are a pleaser, you would like to please every human being on planet Earth, then I think you are on a wrong journey, my friend. Yes, you heard me correct. You can never, ever please anybody. And if you are taking notes, then you can write this down, that on an average, 25% people would not like you. Doesn't matter. For whatever reason, your hair is too short, your hair is too long, your hair is too black, your hair is too brown, you're too thick, you're too thin, you are too tall, you're too short, you speak too fast, you speak very slow, your eyes are bad, your nose is shit, XYZ. So there is close to 25% people, maybe a few percentages more, it's a research, okay? They won't like you for whatever reason. But if the majority likes you, go with it, and do what you have to do. If you are on a journey to please everybody, you have heard me before, I think you're on a wrong journey. You can never, ever please anybody. People hate God, Irony of life. Now, how do you know, sometimes that you are getting, clouds of judgment? When you start telling lies to people, especially people who matter in your life, maybe your wife, your family, maybe your colleagues and your teammates. You just want to keep up a face, so you lie so that you can get away, and that's a very bad situation to be in. That means, either you're insecure, or you have these pushover happening in your life, where you're getting worries and judgment about the fears you have in your life. So those are the signs. All right. Find a way, to let go of your insecurities. If you want to come out of that cloud of judgment, and if you want to really have clarity in your life, then this is the recommendation: that find a way to let go of your insecurities. One of the exercises, I can suggest, is that you can write it down. Just journaling is a very healing process. If you just write it down, these are the fears I'm getting, this is the talks it's coming into my mind, it will let go of a lot of your emotions which are not serving you. You will be able to release it. That's a beautiful thing. Journaling is a great thing. And then reach out to a friend or family member, I've already said, or to a mentor, who you look up on and you got access to them, or listen, to their virtual recording. If you're not too close to them, if they're too big shot and you don't have the funds right now to afford their coaching or mentoring, then just listen into whatever recordings you can get access to. And let's have a look. What else? Okay. By the way, having a goal actually gives you a sense of purpose, gives you a sense of deadline, gives you an urgency to finish things on time, and that's a good thing to happen. So have a goal, and goal is something which is realistic, something which will stretch you, and it will keep you accountable. So goal setting would be great, right now. And whatever you want to call it, if you don't want to call it goal, just call it a target. Don't get caught up in the word. You got to be aiming for something. If you're not aiming for anything, then you're aiming for everything. And if you're aiming for everything, you will not be able to hit anything in life. So if you aim for certain things, your chances of getting closer is much higher. Even if you don't hit the target, you get close to the target. And that's a great thing to happen. And be okay to say no to people. Saying no to people doesn't mean that you don't like them, you don't love them, you don't care for them. Saying no to people means, what? That I love you, I want to be honest with you, and this is my bandwidth. Everybody has a bandwidth. You have certain number of hours you can work in a day. Doesn't matter who you are. We all human beings need to have some rest, even if it's 4 or 5 hours. We all need to regenerate by, I don't know, watching a bit of a comedy here, maybe, for people it is movie, maybe spending time, like for me with daughter, or just going out in the garden, doing something like gardening for 1 hour. We need all that. If you sit on a laptop for like 12, 14, 16 hours, and if you don't move, if you don't take up breaks and here and there, you can have some back problems. Your body can couch like that. So coming back, be okay to say no to people, because we all have a limit, and then you have to draw the limit and say, what, that's it. Beyond this, I cannot work. Say it in a nice way. Push people back if they're coming too much close to you. You got to have your space, in life. Okay, so that's all I have to share today. I might be in my clouds of thoughts today. That's just natural, because I was looking at the notes my team sent me, and I was making sure I have covered, whatever they want me to cover. So sometimes the flow breaks here and there, and sometimes, I pause to think over and get the right word, or, whatever it is, and I have to accept myself for that, and I don't have to please everybody. If you're tuning in, this is me, real me. Take it or don't take it. Simple. See, the switch can be either off or it can be on. There's nothing called, a half-lighted bulb. The bulb is on or the bulb is off. And this is what I have, shared during my live events. And let me share it one more time. Be very watchful of the vocabulary you have in your life, in any language. हिंदी भी हो सकती है कि किन शब्दों का आप इस्तेमाल करते हैं. शब्द जो है ना आपकी जिंदगी में बहुत बड़ा रोल प्ले करते हैं. Words play a very big role in your life. There are certain words, people use a lot, and it is very overrated. Let me, give you an example. If you look at the word try, actually try means that it was a half-hearted attempt. Seriously. Let's say if you are, well, it's a lockdown right now, but as an example, if you took a flight, let's say from Delhi to Mumbai, or if you took a flight from London to, let's say, Paris, or London to Sweden, let's Stockholm. And when you're about to reach, just 20 minutes before, you're about to land, and your pilot says, "Ladies and gentlemen, this is your pilot, and let me tell you, we are only a few hundred miles away from Sweden, or Stockholm or Delhi or Mumbai, and we will be landing in a few minutes from now. So tighten up your belts, sit upright, whatever. They do that standard announcement. That's perfect. Now after 5 minutes, your pilot is again on the radio saying, okay, ladies and gentlemen, let me try and see if I can land this plane. What would be your thought if you hear that? If your pilot says, let me try and see if I can land this plane. I'm sure, if you are like me, you will start praying, like, what the hell this guy is saying? Let me try. Excuse me, land the plane. Fucking, I'm sorry, but there's nothing called trying. Either you do it or you don't do it. When you do, you are fully in it, or just don't do it. Be honest to yourself. Okay, so any questions right now? Can I have your WhatsApp number? Sunita Juneja. That's a beautiful question. Okay, I would love to give you my number, but if I give you my number in a public platform like this, I won't have a life. Yes, my team will get in touch with you if you've got any questions. If you would like to discuss something, I've got a filter system, to protect myself. What I've just taught you right now, this is what exactly I'm doing. If my number floats around in a public platform, I'm sure there will be at least few hundred people who would like to give me a call. I get every day few messages from unknown people, and even at times people have no understanding of how to ask for a number or ask for a favor. All they write in that question is about them. I'm sorry, this is a learning I'm giving you, and this is the truth of life, that nobody gives a damn care about who you are. That's the truth of life. Whether you like it or not, life is unfair out there. So if you want to get somebody's attention, do something for them. At least ask them how they are and say, what, this is how I got your profile, or I've been inspired by your story. At least give them 20 minutes of your life. Watch my story if you want to connect with me. And then, you can go on to explain your story, which people write. The people write like 3-4 paragraphs and they expect me to read that. Not really. I really want to take care of people, but I want to take care of people, who are highly committed. So coming back, if you write 2 lines about me, which is about giving value, and then if you write something about your question, that makes it much better, rather than just you want to gain, and that's it. You have got nothing to do with me and my life and my time. There's no value. And how do I know? You can claim later on, be in denial. No, sir, I respect you. I love you. I respect your time. No, look at your message. There's nothing about me. You're randomly an unknown person for me throwing a message just because you are connect on LinkedIn, or you are connect on Instagram, or you're connect on Facebook page, and you're writing a big paragraph, about your life story, that how your life sucks. Do you want to know my challenges? You don't want to be in my shoes, what kind of challenges I'm doing, what balls I'm juggling, in my business, in my professional life, in my personal life, all that. We all have challenges in life. It looks easy on the surface. So coming back, that's perfectly okay. If you don't ask, you don't get. But you got to have a way to ask. It's called art of communication. It's all about you, most people, would not care for you. And if somebody who cares, there are very high chances they want to con you, or they might take advantage of you because you're vulnerable. That may happen. People who want to really help you in the true sense, they will only give your attention when you build a relationship with them. When you want to go into their world and want to know who they are, and then they would like to know who you are. I'm sorry, nobody's asking a number for the beggar sitting on the street. Nobody reaches up to a beggar and says, what, can you give me your WhatsApp number or mobile number? Anyways, maybe they may not have it. But when you do something, of concrete, you do something, which is powerful, people notice you and they want to get a piece of you, which is fine, which is great. And I would love to work with people. And I love teaching, by the way, if you guys don't know, if you are tuning in for the first time, I love teaching. You can ask this, from my students. So anyways, if you want to get my attention, add value to my life, and that's how we can connect. But my team is always available. Speak to them. They're amazing people, and this is the truth. Whether you like it or not, the life out there is unfair. I wish I can say it's fair. I pray, every single day for it to become fair, but it is not. And this is a world we all have created together. We are all responsible. Equally, I am responsible too. I do my part. I do my charity. I do my spiritual journey. But it's fine. I cannot make the world fair. That's beyond my control. So I have to teach you skills or techniques which will serve you and help you get I don't know, more value, more sales, whatever more that you want in your life. We all want something more in our life. Simple. Having said that, guys, that's all I have to share. I've got 5 minutes. If you got any questions, you can ask me or let me know, and I'm happy to get in touch with you guys. Having said that, Hina has already updated my official WhatsApp number, and she'll be in touch with Sunita. Thank you. By the way, I love you. Understand? I'm just sharing what I have learned in the long journey. And if you don't know my story, watch my story on YouTube. I'm a taxi driver's son. I have lived in a one-room house with illiterate parents. I was overweight. I was bullied and abused. I was suicidal, very majorly, heavily, at the age of 16. And I was able to overcome all that, and become a Tony Robbins trainer, be on stage of Success Resources. If you don't know, Success Resources is the world leading seminar promoting company. And I have been on their stage not once, not twice, not like 3 times, maybe, I don't know, at least few hundred times, presenting Tony, presenting them, and delivering, their workshop. And I've been speaking, teaching, training people for over a decade now. My first workshop I did, was in Chandigarh in Piccadilly Hotel in 2009, called Therefore I Win, in December. First event I did, my public speaking event in London was Attitude to Gratitude. So yeah, it's been a phenomenal journey, for me from there to here. All right, guys, lots of love. Stay blessed. And if you have any question, send it out to us, and we will be covering that, during our live sessions. So for now, we keep shifting and tweaking few things based on the classes we are doing. So for now, our plan is to go live on Monday and Thursday. So Monday and Thursday at 2:30 p.m. UK time, 3:30 p.m. European time, and that is it's 7 p.m. Indian Standard Time. All right, guys, lots of love. Stay blessed. And remember, a quick recap. Let not, overthinking or the worries or the fears, cloud your judgment. Okay. Find a way to get help. Reach out to people, who can help you. Read something inspiring, and be okay to say no. Don't have to be a pleaser, all the time. If you become a pleaser, you will have a very hard life, very tough life. And that's what we get ingrained in the very early childhood, to keep pleasing others. You would never be liked by everybody, except that. But if the majority is happy with you, you're on the right track. Lots of love. Stay blessed. And by the way, you are only few thousand hours and few years away from your masterpiece. Remember that.